somewhat unbelievably, or perhaps believably, we are facing Pock again. Is it a surprise? Probably not. Has he been put into his own hell queue? Maybe. Kind of funny. Does make it a little bit boring, but okay, we'll see. We'll see what goes on here. Got some ramp. I really hope we draw a land in our next turn so we can abuse Mythweaver. But if not, then I guess we have a turn to kind of pray for one. I mean, it's tempting to even go for Nissa next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. They want to actually trade. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, yeah, you think your elf is hard, do you? Right, we're going to kick your elven ass. I thought that was quite amusing. Okay. So now they can't cast Pock next turn. And we can even Broken Bond the Beanstalk. Now, Beanstalk, Up the Beanstalk tells us the intention of the deck. They want to cast big spells. Makes perfect sense. Got 1 green open. I wonder if it's a protection spell. And it's a land, which could spell doom for them. So we've got 6 mana. So we just have to pay 2 life. Oh, my friend. You got silly with the old elven attack there. You should not have attacked me with your elves, boy. I just want to say that I am late to the Mythweaver Pock party because as soon as it came out, I knew it was going to be problematic. It's a stupidly OP, powerful deck just because it clones every non-token land you play. So you play a land, you get a land, clone of it on the battlefield. Now, I'm coming across an unusual issue here. Whilst trying to record games for Mythweaver Pock, everyone keeps conceding. I don't know why, because it's a pretty obnoxious toxic deck and it is very powerful. It's in the top meta. If you look at the leaderboards online, you can see it's like the 2nd or 3rd most played command right now. So what I'll do, I'll see if I can get a few games in. If not, I might just switch to another commander halfway through and see if I can get any games with something else, something different. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting experiment. We kind of know how powerful Pock is. This video is just here to kind of cover all our bases. We just want to, you know, on the MTG Judge channel, we want to cover things even if we know they're evil, just in case we can discover any fatal flaws in the deck. And it kind of acts like just a little information video to see how you can defeat Pock. So getting into this video, let's see if we can actually get any games. Okay, so we've got the Pock mirror. Seems to be fairly common here. Had a few of these already today. Let's see who's the fastest. Now, one thing I realised, which was a little bit too late, was when making this Pock deck, we didn't have any ways to put mass lands into play from the library itself, so no scape shift effects. And although it does weaken the deck, I don't think it matters. To be honest, I think it still operates perfectly fine. And you'll probably be able to win still a lot without scape shift effects. Now that is a shame. We missed out on being able to cast any cards. Yeah, we can't cast either of those. That is a shame, but it's fine. We have protection from green and red, which means we can just swing in quite a lot without worrying too much. Okay. So, yeah. Play Pock. Play the land. Shadow Spear. And actually, 2 of these is crazy because we can do it in our opponent's turn, which means that we get multiple triggers because you can only do Pock once per turn. So yeah, fetch lands is just ludicrous here. And if they play a land, they get a land and a treasure. Okay, so it's definitely kind of crazy. Though we have a Vorinclex now, so probably don't have much to worry about. Like, if they tap all the lands, they're just not going to untap. They've got 5 mana, though. That's a lot. But we have Trample and a Sword. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Nissa. Ugh, this is going to be... This is going to be something we have to take care of. Otherwise, we might actually lose the game now if we can't deal with that. Right, what do we do then? So whenever we tap a land for mana... Right, let's get extra mana first. So, double the mana. 9/9. How do I want to deal this? This doesn't tap for mana. Quick cost 2. 10. Yeah, I think we're just going to give Trample to it. And the Sword? Why can't we pay 2? Oh, because that's not actual mana, is it? I've just literally just said that. Okay, fine. We will swing in with that. They have... I mean, we've got Trample Lifelink. If they want to trade their commander, go for it. We'll start the Vorinclex after, so even if they do tap, we're going to deal some amount of damage here, surely. 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. They have 11 toughness total. Depends how much they value the Nissa. Yeah, maybe I should have probably cracked the escape tunnel in their turn, just so I could have had an extra mana to do the +2 damage. So these two couldn't block. Oh well. I still think we're in a really good position. So they block with the POC. They get down to 4 loyalty. It's interesting. Wow, they don't care. They're just going to take the L. Okay, I'm happy about that.
Must seek comfort in the land.
Right, and if they don't get rid of Vorinclex, then they're just going to have no mana in the next turn. So that was a pretty influential card they just played, really. How do they deal with this? I mean, they could easily just play land. It's a 7/7. They could have this fight the Vorinclex. Jeez, that is actually a really insane synergy there, because it quadruples the... That essentially quadruples each land they play. So with these two out, 1 land equals 4 mana. Yeah, I don't know if we can come back from this, to be honest, because they might not even care about this Vorinclex at this rate. Because this only cares about lands being tapped, but they could just use these treasures going forward. Great Henge. Now we have the Manglehorn for that. Let's just do this in response so we don't forget this time. Okay, so them tapping down... That only costs 2 mana for that. Wow. Yeah, because the POC is so big. That is crazy. What else are we going to do? So any fight spells now is going to just overwhelm the Vorinclex, which is sad. Treasures. And the Great Henge gives 2 mana as well. Yeah, I mean, they've just got around Vorinclex. It's probably just not going to matter. Craterhoof. Wow, okay, they're just going for it. So everything's going to get +4/+4 trample. Is that enough to kill us? I don't know. It's going to get a counter as well. Got 35. I mean, we can take a chunk off, but they've all got trample. So how much is that? 22, 28. This has got protection. Do we actually need to block? So how much is that over there? They've got 22, 27, 34. No, we don't need to block. So we're at 3, and then they just die on the swing back. Wow, that was pretty lucky. Pretty sure they died on the swing back. We've got 18. Oh, hang on a second. Got this to deal with, haven't we? Okay, fine. Let's see what they do to this. They can block the halfling. I mean, we're going to gain 11 here, so go to 14. This doesn't have trample. Nothing has trample. They really should block the halfling, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, that's the play. No? Yeah, because by attacking with the halfling, we're actually going to... If we hit them, we're going to get some triggers. Interesting. They were all for it when they were attacking, weren't they? Suddenly, they didn't quite like it on the way back. Okay, we've already mulliganed once. I don't want to go down. We've got 1 ramp spell. Should be okay. Ideally, it would be nice to get a 1 or 2 mana ramper. Okay, we've got the incubation druid. That should be fine. Versus 5-colour deck. So they play a land here. They could go for Omnath in the following turn. We might struggle to deal with Omnath. We don't have any kill spells in our hand, and green is just going to rely on fight spells here, but we shall see. Be nice to get a fetch land or 2. So fetch lands with Mythweaver. Man, this is hard to say. Fetch lands with Mythweaver Pock. That's what you want to try and do. Because with Mythweaver Pock, you actually get 2 lands. 2 land clones. So it's kind of absurd. Power level here. Opponent playing with the most expensive lands in the format right now. Fetches into Triomes. Kind of crazy. Basic island. So are they going to go for Omnath? They're going to ramp. Which makes me wonder if they've just got bigger, better things to do, probably. Oh my goodness. Sometimes the slow plays are really slow. Okay, Mythweaver. We'll see what they've got. But this is perpetually a 3-3 now. Essentially. Unless you lose all your lands. And that's what makes it crazy. Just playing land gives you an extra land and increases its power and toughness. It's kind of crazy. 6 mana. More fetches. You can see why fetches are not good for the game. I mean, they used to say that they weren't going to print these anymore just because it creates an environment where we're waiting around all day. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Just so much waiting. So many tutors each turn. I feel like just playing the Omnath here is kind of strange timing. I don't know. Just feels unusual. Okay. So as you can see, it's already, you know, it's already 5-5. 6 lands. 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we do this, this is a crazy amount of mana we have here.
Strange and magnificent world.
Absolutely crazy.
Be wary of the ground.
So now we can even go for Great Henge. Or Settle the Wilds. That's crazy. Okay. Leave it back. So if the Nissa survives this, I'd be surprised. But we're getting to the point now where we can just do so many things. So they reveal the bonus, which means they get 3 mana for free. Okay. So that can deal 7 damage to opponent creature or planeswalker. So that can kill the Nissa, but that would take pretty much all of their mana to do that. If they do that, though, we have the Vorinclex next turn that comes down and can just finish him off. They're going to give a Traxxas instead. And they found a Void Rend. And they've got white, blue, black, so they could just kill Nissa here. Oh, damn, that's a shame. It's crazy that our mono green deck is coming against, 5 colour, 4 colour sub. That's just testament to how crazy Mythweaver Pock is. So this only triggers once each turn, which I've just realised. So there is slight balancing on this, but choose one creature to destroy the rest. That's going to be very, very strong if we play lots more creatures. Absent Charm, they're just going to exile it there. I wonder if that was the right move. Because they're not going to be able to kill the Nissa, and we're still going to have double mana.
Talk of peace.
So interesting. What do we do? I think we just go for the Ulamog. Exile this. Get rid of all the lands. That Ulamog is indestructible, so Doom Blast is not going to work. So I'm kind of forcing their hand here. Destroy the rest. So we know they have a board wipe. There's kind of no point in attacking. Not attacking, sorry. In creating another creature with Nissa. Put 3 counters onto one target which land. Untap it becomes a 0/0. Still land. So I think we just submit 0 because we don't want to just lose it for no reason. And then, yeah, playing another creature is just stupid there, given that they have the Doom Blast. But again, they've got plenty of ways to deal with our permanents. It's definitely a scary game. So they can play this. Oh, they're just going to go for an Angel? I didn't really expect that. I really think... I don't know. I'm not sure they read the Ulamog has indestructible there. I might force them to quit. That was a silly move, man. Come on, you're playing with a lot of powerful cards here. Surely you know what an Ulamog is. Surely, it's a second sentence. We all make mistakes, but if you're playing a deck like this, all these lands and all these rares, I don't know, feels a bit silly. I'm going to quickly interrupt this video to tell you this video is not sponsored, and because of that, the channel does need help from people like you. So if you do want to support the channel in your own way, you can like and subscribe, which is completely free. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can donate to the channel via my Ko-fi link below, or become a channel patron. And if you become a channel patron, you can get a custom video of your choice. Check out the details below. All right, this should be an interesting matchup. Green versus blue. Elves versus wizards. Sort of. We are cat shaman. I think if we resolve the sanctuary, that should be kind of nice. Lotus Cobra. Oh. Now that's definitely a good one. Was that a misplay doing that? Maybe. We'll have to see. I was thinking we play a land. Next turn, we get green with the Cobra. And we can maybe do something else. Although they're holding up 2 mana. So now I'm just thinking maybe that was a bad idea. I mean, maybe we just want to get the counter spells out of the way. Maybe they don't have one. They probably do, right? They're playing mono blue. They've just killed themselves. Do they understand how Pact works? Oh, they're going to stifle the trigger. Right, let's see how next level this player is. No, they're just an absolute maniac. What? So, to be honest, this was a very bizarre recording and playing experience. I probably had faced 30 to 40% Mythweaver POC decks. I faced probably about the same in Voja decks. I faced a one blue deck you saw at the very end there, and just some random other things. But yeah, it's in a really unusual queue. It's like very honed in on the opponents it faces, which is something I've not really seen before. The deck itself, is it fun? I mean, I suppose it is, because you're just doing some absolutely absurd things. But just because it's fun doesn't mean it has longevity. I don't know about that. Because if you just, it just feels a bit overpowering. And it's almost like your deck is in a different category to everything else. This is essentially the green Rusko, if you're interested. In a matchup between this and Rusko, I don't really know who would win. If this was more focused to deal with control, then this could definitely stand a good chance. You know, putting creatures that say stuff like your stuff can't be countered, your stuff gets hexproof, so on and so forth. I think this build is fine. As I mentioned in one of the games, I didn't include cards that put mass lands into play, like Scape Shift, so on and so forth. In hindsight, that was probably for a good reason. People normally get bored and quit when you're doing it. Somebody did it to me today, and they had all these triggers, all this sort of stuff going off, but it was kind of painful to watch, and I thought, why am I sitting through this? So it's one of those weird commander decks where it's fairly fun to use. It's absolutely nightmarish to face. The amount of people that conceded against this is astronomical. So many concessions. Kind of makes you a bit sad, because when you sat down to play Magic, you just want to play Magic, not have to deal with re-queuing and people stalling and roping. So essentially, I would probably avoid making this unless you just want to experiment like I did. Probably why I delayed making this for such a long time. I kind of knew this is what was going to happen, and that's partly why I avoid a lot of the popular ones at the start, because it's just kind of crazy. I mean, you look at the top end here, Ulamogs and Vorinclex and stuff. They're so easy to get out, turn 5-6, and the opponent can't really do much to stop it. But yeah, if you do want to take a look at the deck list, it's down below if you're crazy enough, if you want to feel power. But to be honest, I'd probably save the Mythic for something else, a bit more fun, a bit of a card where people might actually want to play you. Because if you've got a really powerful deck, but nobody wants to play you, what's the point? But yeah. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.